Good morning. Thorn Law Group is a leader in providing tax counsel and legal representation to clients throughout the United States and around the world. The Credit Suisse settlement last week was over $2.6 billion in financial penalties, with the U.S. government is the largest paid by the Swiss bank. And here to tell us more about the firm and the work they do with the IRS Voluntary Disclosure Program is managing partner Kevin E. Thorn. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Angela. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, for starters, tell us in broad terms, what does all of this really mean?
Well, I think it means a lot of things, especially for the banking community. If you look back over the past few years, especially to 2009 with the UBS settlement, the Credit Suisse settlement is 3 times that. And what that means is their conduct was basically related to that. In other words, it was 3 times worse. They destroyed documents. They basically helped U.S. taxpayers with undisclosed assets hide those assets throughout the world.
Now, I'd imagine if you even have a Swiss bank account, you're probably shaking a little bit in your boots. People don't know how to take this. If someone has offshore accounts, particularly in Switzerland right now, what do you suggest they do? What needs to happen right now?
Well, I think it's important to point out that it's not illegal to have a Swiss bank account or an account outside the U.S. What's important is that you disclose it to the U.S. government through various forms, and that you deal with professionals and get educated on what you need to do if you have an account outside the U.S. If you don't do that, there are substantial penalties that actually can take place, including incarceration at some point if the numbers are high enough, obviously.
Oh, good Lord. I suspect it's an educational process from you that a lot of people might think, okay, I'm doing the right thing, I've got this account, I think I'm doing the right thing, but maybe not.
Well, yes, and so you need to talk to an educated tax professional, someone like myself that specializes in this area of law, dealing with people from other countries, especially if you look at the surrounding area, D.C. or Northern Virginia, where a lot of people come from other countries. They need to know what their reporting requirements are. Disclosing the accounts, picking up any interest income on those accounts is also very important.
Okay, now, everyone is not quite that innocent. What if, all right, I've got a Swiss bank account, I know I've been not really reporting everything, and I've got a lot of money over there at stake. Is it too late? I mean, are they going to get penalized?
Well, if they're found out before they actually fill out the forms, yes. If the government basically contacts you, that's a serious problem, which could result in serious penalties or a criminal investigation. But if you enter what the IRS currently has, the IRS Voluntary Disclosure Program, the Amnesty program basically does 2 things. It helps you get back into compliance. It gives you set penalties. It gives you the opportunity to tell your story to the government before they find you.
Okay, so the trick is do it first, be proactive. So what's the first step? Contact you, or should they just contact the IRS, or what?
Well, yes, I mean, they could contact me. I wouldn't contact the IRS because the IRS really doesn't represent you. You need an experienced tax attorney that works in this area. We represent clients throughout the country and around the world, clients that are U.S. and non-U.S. persons. So contact an attorney, talk with them about their situation, and get educated on what they need to do in regards to their offshore account. Sometimes you don't have to report it if it's below certain thresholds, but each and every taxpayer's situation is different. So it's important to keep in mind that education is the key.
This is a big deal. I'd imagine your phone is ringing off the hook right now.
Yeah, I mean, we get a lot of phone calls from people that maybe aren't sure what their situation is, or we're actually getting a lot of phone calls from people that actually have received letters from banks that actually are saying, well, you have an account and we're going to turn your information over. And those people should definitely call me and not hire attorneys that actually work for the banks. They should call me because I would have their rights, or someone in my area of practice that specializes in tax controversy or tax litigation would be able to help them best, both dealing with the government and dealing with the banks where they actually hold the accounts.
This sounds like you'd definitely be the person to call, but you do a lot of other things at your firm to help out companies and corporations.
Yes, we do. We do a bit of planning, but we're a boutique litigation firm, so we specialize in representing people before the IRS, the Department of Justice, the U.S. Tax Court, as well as other taxing authorities. And if you have a will and a trust that needs to actually be put together, we can help you with that too.
That's wonderful. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good information. You're going to help a lot of people.
And thank you.
You're very welcome. We'll have more Let's Talk Live coming up right after this.